Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani, Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for SAT. We have been solving SAT math problems out of this book here, the official SAT study guide. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. The problem that we are about to solve is the one that you will find on page number 609. Please turn to it, page 609, and today is our lesson number 56. In this section, we have 16 questions. They are all of the same type. They are all multiple choice questions, and therefore they go in the order of difficulty on a scale of 1 through 16. The first 5 or so are going to be easy. The next middle 6 are going to be medium. The last 5 are going to be hell. Let's take a look at number 1. It's a very straightforward, simple question, because it's number 1 on a scale of 1 through 16. It says there is same number of boys and girls on a school bus when it departs from the school. Alright, so the number of boys is same as the number of girls. Then what happens? At the first stop, 4 boys get off the bus and nobody gets on. So now the number of boys that we have is 4 fewer than before. After the first stop, there are twice as many girls as boys on the bus. So now the number of girls that we have is same as before. It's the same number of girls as before, but now that quantity, the number of girls, is 2 times this quantity. There are twice as many. Okay, I'm going to read one more time. After the first stop, there are twice as many girls as boys on the bus. So whatever the number of girls is on the bus, that quantity G, that quantity is 2 times the remaining number of boys. And that's all. The question simply is how many girls are on the bus. Alright, so let's find out how many girls are on the bus. So we have 2 times B minus 2 times 8 equals G. But remember, B is the number of boys that we started out with. The number of boys that we started out with is the same as the number of girls that we started out with. So we can replace this B with a G. So it's 2 times G minus 8 equals G. That's the trick part. Understanding what these symbols mean. B here represents the number of boys that we started out with. G represents the number of girls that we started out with when the bus left the school. That's it. We just have to solve for G. Subtract G from both sides. If you subtract G from both sides, this G is going to drop out. Add 8 to both sides, and we find that 2G minus G is equal to G, which is 8. We have 8 girls. We have 8 girls on the bus to start out with. We had 8 girls and 8 boys, which is why when the 4 boys got off the bus, there were only 4 boys left at that point, which is what allowed us to say that now the number of girls that were on the bus is 2 times the number of boys, because 4 of the boys just left, half the boys just left. Do you understand? Number 2. Sometimes when the problem is too simple and you try to explain it, it just gets too annoying. Number 2. Which of the following is the graph of a linear function with a negative slope and a positive y-intercept? Alright, so first of all we need a negative slope, so we can cross out right away whatever is positively sloped. A is positive slope. A looks like this. It's a positively sloped graph. B does work. B would work. B is also positively sloped. That's not going to work. C would work. Let's put C up here. C would work. C is a negatively sloped line. C is a negative slope line. That would work. And D is also a negatively sloped line. That would work. And E is a negatively sloped line. E is a negatively sloped line. So all of these 3 meet the first criterion. Let me erase this thing so I can put that word that I just used. I'm not going to go there right now. I'm going to leave it aside for the time being. I'm going to finish the problem first. So there were two that were positively sloped, A and B. Those are no longer in the running. They are gone. They don't even qualify. They are positively sloped. Among the remaining that are left here, we're looking for something that has a positive y-intercept. What sort of y-intercept does this graph have? This graph goes through the origin. It has a y-intercept of 0 and x-intercept of 0. We're looking for a positive y-intercept. That won't do. What about this guy? Well, how about, let's start with this one, C here. What does y-intercept mean? Y-intercept means the place where the line intersects the y-axis. The point where the line intersects the y-axis. This line intersects y-axis at this point. It has a negative y-intercept. It has a negative y-intercept. We're looking for a positive y-intercept. A positive y-intercept, the place where the line crosses the y-axis, is positive at this point right here. D is the answer. D is the line that has a positive y-intercept. Let's learn the word criterion. I'm not sure if we actually learned it before, if I ever... Oh! No, never mind. I thought I saw it. I have a list in front of me and I don't think I have covered this thing in the vocabulary lesson. So I'm going to use this word in the context, see if you can understand it. Here's what we did. The first thing they told us is that it has to be a negatively sloped line. It had to be a negatively sloped line, which is why we crossed out answer choice A and B, because it does not meet the first criterion. There are two criteria. The first criteria that we have to, see, I almost did, not almost, I did it myself. The first criterion here, there are two criteria. The first criterion is that it has to be a negatively sloped line. The second criterion is that it also has to have a negative y-intercept. So there are two criteria. The reason I'm making a big fuss about it is because many a times I've seen people, where just now I did myself a second ago, where they end up using the word criteria in the context of singular when they mean to say criterion. So if there's only one you're talking about, it's criterion. The plural is two criteria. There are two criteria here. One has to do with slope, one has to do with intercept. So which is why we crossed out A and B, because answer choice A and B do not meet the first criterion, not criteria. Anyway, enough of that. Number 3. It's a shame that I have not, it's strange that I have not covered this word in the vocabulary lessons. Perhaps I'll do it in the future. This is a very common mistake. Very common mistake. It has also appeared, this concept, in the grammar questions, in the writing portion where they give you the multiple choice grammar questions. Sometimes they use those things to see if you pick up on it. They will say the only criteria the scientists use. Well, if it's the bloody only one, it cannot be the only criteria. It would have to be the only criterion. Do you understand? Number 3. In number 3, we are buying donuts, sugar. Excuse me, I'm still here. So buying donuts, of course, is always a happy occasion. Let's see what's going on here. Which is the closest approximation of the cost per donut when one purchases a box of 6? Alright, a box of 6, if you look at the chart, tells us, the box of 6 costs $1.89, and we buy, and it comes in a box of 6. So that's the cost per donut. But because they're looking for approximate cost, we can just approximate it as $1.80. And $1.80 divided by 6, 18 has 3 sixes, so it's 30 cents per donut approximately. I meant to say per donut, I meant to write per donut, I don't know where the unit came from. So it's about 30 cents per donut. Now if you want to find the precise figure, then you're going to have to take that extra 9 cents and divide that by 6 again. And 6 divided by 6 is 1, and then the 3 divided by 6 is half, so that's another 1.5 cents. So the exact value of one donut and a box of 6 donuts is actually 31.5 cents. But they're looking for approximate. And because the answer choices are so far apart, we can just approximate 189 as 180. Number 4. What will be the least amount of money needed to purchase exactly 21 donuts? Alright. So we're going to purchase exactly 21 donuts. How can we buy exactly 21 donuts and still keep the amount of money that we spend the least? Well, let's first buy a dozen, a box of dozen. So we buy 12. 12 will cost $3.59. Then we can buy a box of 6. A box of 6 is $1.89. So that's 18 so far, and we have 3 more to go. And 3 more donuts at 40 cents each will cost us another $20. That's it, that's our 21 donuts. All we have to do is just add them up. So see what we get. 9 plus 9 is 18, carry 1. 8 plus 2 is 10, 10 plus 5 is 15, 15 plus 1 is 16. Carry 1. 3 plus 1 is 4, 5, 6. Looks like $6.68 is the answer. $6.68 is the answer, choice B. What's the most you would spend? What's the most that one might spend buying 21 donuts? Do you know? How do we go about it? So that we end up spending the most amount of money. But that's very straightforward. You want to buy 21 donuts and you want to spend the most amount of money, buy them individually, one at a time. If you buy one at a time, the chart tells us that one donut costs 40 cents and you will end up spending 21 donuts times 40. And that's where answer choice E comes from. That gives you $8.40. You will end up spending $8.40 if you were to buy them individually. But this is an easy question, nothing to it, very straightforward. The only people who are going to pick $8.40 are not the people who do not understand the concept here. This mistake like this can happen to anybody. The only people who are going to end up picking this answer are the people who are just not paying attention, being careless, which can happen to the best of us. Do you understand? That's the only reason why you will miss an easy question. There is no other reason. Easy questions are missed. If you miss the easy questions, a lot of the times the students will look at me and say, "Ah, yes, Mr. Kashwan, there was a stupid mistake," as if there are intelligent mistake. A stupid mistake is exactly why you miss easy questions. You must pay attention. Do you understand? We cannot afford to make mistakes on the easy questions. We cannot afford to make mistakes on the easy questions because we already know that we're going to make few mistakes. We are going to make few mistakes on the hard questions. Everybody does. So we can't afford any more. Number 5. They give us a graph here. The question simply is, what's the value of h of x? Oh, sorry, h of 5 rather. H of 5. This is how we read it. H of 5, which simply means what is the value of the function when x equals 5. So you just look at the chart and find out. I shouldn't have written it out all the way now because I need the room to read. Just put it here. At 5, okay. Well, here's your 2, here's our 4, here's our 6, and the 5 is going to be somewhere here. And if you go up the chart, it looks something like this. And that comes out at, if you look at chart here, that comes out at 3. That comes out at 3. H of 5 equals 3. Just look at the chart. Don't depend on my chart there because I did not do a very good job of plotting it. But if you look at the chart, and if you go to the 5, 2, 4, 6, so look at the 5 in the middle, and just go up to the chart, and read it across on the y-axis. Let me redraw it. I don't like it. I want to redraw it. I want to redraw it. So here's your 2, 4, 6, and it starts out something like this. Somewhere here, then it comes all the way down between 2 and 4. There is a 6, and then it goes up again like this. And here's 5. 5 is going to be right here in the middle. And if you go across, there you go, that's your 3. This is the value of the function. This is the value of the y, which is same as saying value of the function when x equals 5. Value of the function is same as the value of the y, because y is the function here. Y is the function of x. Now typically we are used to seeing like this, y is a function of x. Why are they using h instead of f? That's the confusing part for some people. And if you're one of those people who freaks out when you see h instead of x here, that means you do not have complete comprehension of the concept of function. What I want you to do is type in this tag here, what is a function. Just type in this tag, what is a function, along with my name, and you will see a video in which you will find an explanation as to what it means to use h or f. H and f and g and whatever it is that you want to use, this is just a name of the function, whatever name that you want to assign to that function. The function is another way of saying a relationship. There exists a relationship between the independent variable x and the dependent variable y. The value of the y depends on the value of the x, and that relationship is given a name. Most of the time we call that relationship f. F is the name of the relationship. Here they're calling the relationship h. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't change anything. So the value of the function when x equals 5 from the graph here, when x equals 5, you go up the graph at 5 and you ask yourself what's the value of y? The answer is 3. It equals 3. Let's do number 6, the last one on the page. Number 6. Number 6 is a straightforward question. I don't know why it's classified as a medium question. 3 line segments meet at a point to form 3 angles. What's the value of x? Well, here are the 3 lines. We are told that this is 2x, we are told that this is 3x, and we are told that this is 4x. And what do we know about some of these 3 angles? These 3 angles together form a circle. And we know that the sum of the degrees in a circle encompasses 360 degrees. Circle is made up of 360 degrees. So 360 degrees must equal 2x plus 3x plus 4x. That's all. This angle plus that angle must equal 360 degrees. 2 plus 3 is 5, 5 plus 4 is 9. So 9x equals 360. Therefore x equals 360 over 9. And we know that 36 divided by 9 is 4. 36 divided by 9 is 4, so it's 40 degrees. X is 40 degrees. That's all. And the answer is C. That was the end for today. I will see you tomorrow, or we'll pick up from the next page. Alright? Bye now.